Have you ever tried putting on your socks or shoes while standing without grabbing onto anything? Sounds easy enough, until it's not. That small, everyday motion actually reveals a lot about your current physical condition. Here's the eye-opener. More than 80% of people over 50 struggle with balance. If you find yourself wobbling, reaching for support, or feeling unsteady, it's not just a small issue. It's your body sending you a clear message. You're losing balance, coordination, and functional strength. And if nothing changes, 10 years from now, you might look back and wish you'd taken action today. The good news? You can turn this around, starting now. I'm about to show you 5 powerful exercises that most people completely overlook. They're simple, require no fancy equipment, and directly improve how you move, how safe you feel, and how confidently you age. If your goal is to stay independent, mobile, and strong as the years go by, this is where it begins. Ready to take that first step? Let's get into it. At first, the Superman exercise sounds almost playful, like something from a comic. But if you sit a lot, you quickly notice how much your back suffers. This is exactly where this movement begins. It specifically activates the posterior muscle chain, i.e., back, buttocks, and torso. In everyday life, especially when you spend many hours at your desk or take long car journeys, these muscles are neglected. This not only affects the body, but also the charisma, because a hunched back signals weakness, even if you are strong inside. Therefore, this exercise is a real turning point not only for health but also for presence in everyday life. The best part is that you don't need a gym or any equipment. Just a mat or carpet is enough. By simultaneously raising your arms and legs while lying on your stomach, you train precisely those muscles that are hardly used in everyday life. These stabilize the spine, prevent back pain, and improve posture in the long term. Anyone who regularly integrates the Superman into their training will quickly notice how their body tension improves, not only during sports, but also when standing, walking, or sleeping. And by the way, the exercise also promotes coordination, which many people underestimate, even though it is so important for everyday movements. A good start is 3 sets of 10 to 15 seconds with full muscle tension. Make sure that your arms and legs are lifted at the same time without arching your back. This is crucial. If it becomes too easy, you can extend the hold time or use smaller weights. And if the Superman seems too difficult for you at first, try the bird dog. You support yourself on your hands and knees and alternately lift the opposite arm and leg, a gentle but effective alternative to activate your back and neck. But that's just the beginning, because the next exercise targets deeper muscle groups that are often completely forgotten. The so-called Sumo Stance is much more than a simple starting position. It is a real insider tip in training for more stability, mobility, and balance. This posture specifically activates the leg muscles, especially the inner thighs and buttocks, thus providing more control in the lower body area. People who sit for long periods of time often build up tension in the pelvis and lose mobility. The Sumo Extend helps to reverse this condition. And the best part is, it takes up hardly any space and can even be done barefoot at home. When you stand barefoot, you feel the ground more intensely and at the same time strengthen your feet and ankles. A big advantage of this position is that it promotes hip opening, a crucial step for people suffering from limited mobility or lower back pain. At the same time, it improves posture and prepares the body for more complex movements such as deadlifts or squats. Many people underestimate how much the inner thighs influence pelvic stability. But anyone who regularly trains in the Sumo stance will quickly notice how their entire gait becomes more fluid and confident. For older people, this can even be a key to fall prevention. This is not an exaggeration, but scientifically proven. At the beginning, it is sufficient to hold the position for 2 to 3 rounds of 30 seconds, with slightly bent knees, straight back, and active buttocks. If you want to make it more intense, you can bounce up and down slowly or hold light weights in your hands. It is important that the knees point towards the toes and the pelvis remains neutral. For beginners, we recommend using a mirror to check your posture or a resistance band around your thighs to feel muscle tension. And anyone who thinks that's already intense will be surprised by the next training element because it involves a movement that is originally deep and incredibly powerful. Now we come to the third exercise and perhaps the most underrated. In many cultures, the deep squat is still part of everyday life, whether cooking, working, or resting. In the Western world, however, it has almost completely disappeared. And that's a shame because this position is truly multi-talented for the health of joints, muscles, and mobility. It opens the hips and ankles, relieves pressure on the spine, and intensively activates the leg muscles. For many, it feels strange at first, which only shows how much the body has forgotten this natural posture. Those who master them again not only regain flexibility, but also quality of life. The special thing about this posture is the combination of stretching and strength. In a deep squat, the leg muscles work isometrically, which improves blood circulation, increases mobility, and even supports digestion and back health. In countries like India or Japan, where this position is still commonplace, problems like herniated discs or chronic back pain are much less common. This is no coincidence. The deep squat brings the body back into balance, which is often lost through too much sitting. It is a kind of antidote to lack of movement, stiffness, and weakness. To start with, it is sufficient to squat for 30 to 60 seconds 2 to 3 times a day with your heels on the floor, your back straight, and your gaze forward. If you can't get down very far, you can hold on to a door frame or put something under your heels. It's not about perfection, but about continuous improvement. And if you practice regularly, you will quickly notice how everyday movements, such as bending over or standing up, become much easier. But that was only the mobility part. The next step brings a challenge for balance, strength, and concentration all at once. The fourth exercise is a true classic, but with an exciting twist: the one-legged Romanian deadlift. This variation not only brings strength, but above all, control and balance to your training. It targets the back of the thighs, the gluteal muscles, and core stability, precisely the areas that are often neglected in everyday life. What's particularly exciting is that you immediately notice which side is stronger or weaker. This feedback is invaluable if you want to identify and specifically correct muscular imbalances. The single leg deadlift not only promotes functional strength, but also coordination. Both are crucial to preventing injuries, whether during sports or in everyday life. When you lift your shopping bag out of the trunk or keep your balance while getting dressed, this is exactly the kind of stability that comes into play. And yes, it also trains the mind, because concentrating on alignment and tension brings a new awareness of one's own movement. Those who exercise regularly not only develop large muscles, but above all, intelligent functional strength. At the beginning, it is completely sufficient to work only with your own body weight. 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions per side. It is important that the trunk bone remains stable. The back leg stretches backwards in a controlled manner. The back remains straight, and the hip does not tilt to the side. If you need more stability, you can easily lean against a wall or a chair. And once your balance improves, you can use small dumbbells or a water bottle. But wait, before we talk about weights, we should address a completely different topic. A muscle that hardly anyone trains, even though it often plays a central role in back pain. The fifth exercise is not a typical strength training exercise, but it is crucial when it comes to pain relief and mobility: stretching the piriform muscle. This deep gluteal muscle is small but extremely powerful, especially when it is tight. In this condition, it can press on the sacroiliac nerve and cause severe pain in the lower back or leg. Many then believe they have a serious back problem. Often only the piriformis is shortened or overloaded. This is exactly where this stretch comes in and brings targeted relief. This exercise acts like a reboot for the entire lower back area. It improves hip mobility, releases deep tensions, and supports the healthy function of the lumbar spine. It is particularly invaluable for people who sit a lot, drive a car, or are exposed to one-sided stresses in their daily lives, such as carrying handbags or poor posture. This stretch is a must in any training plan that aims for long-term pain relief and better posture, because a relaxed piriformis often also means a relieved iliac muscle, and you feel it throughout your entire body. The classic lying down version is ideal for beginners. Place one leg up, cross the other over it, then gently pull the bent knee towards your chest and hold the position for 30 to 60 seconds. Those who are more advanced can also perform the stretch while sitting or standing. What is important is not the depth of the movement, but the conscious breathing, calm, deeply focused. It's not about pulling or tugging, but about letting go and relaxing. If you experience this regularly, your back will feel freer, walking will be easier, and even sitting will put less strain on your body. Honestly, what's stopping you from incorporating these exercises into your daily routine? Your body is the signal. The question is whether you ignore it or act on it. Remember, it takes time and patience to make new habits be nice to yourself and celebrate every little win. But now it's your turn. Do you include these exercises in your daily routine? What changes have you noticed? You now have the knowledge, and every small step today can make a huge difference in a few months. Which exercise surprised you the most? Write it in the comments. And if this video helped you in any way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.